SpaceX Starship explodes on landing during a test. Sign up for the biggest new releases, reviews and tech hacks. Subscribe. When you subscribe, we will use the information you provide to send you sometimes they'll include recommendations for other related newsletters or services. Our privacy notice explains more about how we use your data and your rights. You can unsubscribe at any. SpaceX fans worldwide are anxiously waiting for news of a launch date for the rocket that will one day carry humans to the Starship. SN10 prototype was rolled out onto the launch pad last month, where it narrowly escaped being damaged when its previous iteration, the SN9, crashed into the launch. The rocket launched on its first test flight, soaring to an altitude of 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers, before attempting to touch back down at SpaceX's facility in Boca Chica. But like the Starship SN8 before it, SN9 failed to stick the landing and instead was blown to smithereens. As fans watched the 160 feet tall, 50 meters, rocket erupt into a ball of flames, many were left wondering whether the SN10 will ace its first. One person tweeted, "SN10 will land, but the only question is in how many pieces?" Another person said, "After 2 failures, it feels like the level of enthusiasm if SN10 lands will be up there with F9's first landing 12/2015. Starship SN10 edges closer to launch date after cryo test. It was absolute. It was like the collective will of the company and all the fans were making it land. Still an epic rewatch." And a third person said, "I think SN10 will land but too hard, and it will. SN11 will hit it perfectly if that's the case." Both SN8 and SN9 perfectly executed the so-called belly flop during their test flights but faltered in the last. SN10 will be the next the rocket to launch using its 3 Raptor engines, then plunge to the ground belly side down before attempting to gently touch down. The maneuver, SpaceX said, will allow Starship to land on worlds such as Mars, where airstrips are rare. Preparations are underway at Boca Chica to launch the SN10. SpaceX has not confirmed the launch date yet, but the company has already ticked off its first pre-flight. On Monday, February 8, the rocket was pumped full of liquid nitrogen to simulate the freezing temperatures and pressures of its rocket fuel. Next up, SpaceX is expected to perform a static fire test of Starship's Raptor. SpaceX performed 150 meters hop with Starship SN5 during a static fire test. The rocket is filled with fuel and the engines are ignited at full thrust, but the spacecraft remains tethered to the. Only then will SpaceX clear Starship for launch, pending approval from the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. Fans looking forward to a static fire test on Friday after Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino Jr. scheduled road closures around Boca Chica on Wednesday, Thursday, but the closures have been called off, making it rather unlikely Starship will fly before the weekend. Follow express.co.uk to find out whether Starship SN10 will launch next week. Trending. Some SpaceX fans have vented their disappointment on social. One person tweeted, "With landing pad updates, I wonder if SN10 will." Looking like no. But that may mean some super fast turnaround between SN10 to SN11 and SN. Another person said, "You are going to be waiting a long time." FAA still investigating SN9 explosion, with SN10 standing right there. After dealing with FAA for 20 years, I believe the first question FAA asked SpaceX about the explosion, "What the F at $K were you thinking SN10 on?"